Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. More breaking news, lots of it actually. We're going to take you through all of it, but the standout news is around Jurrien Timber, and a second bid has gone in, according to Fabrizio Romano. There are, I wouldn't say conflicting reports, various reports, but Fabrizio Romano has been keeping us very up to date with the Jurrien Timber stuff, has said that a second bid has gone in. He's been saying that this has been coming. Personal terms are agreed as well. We'll cover all that in a sec, but it looks like Timber to Arsenal is looking very close. Robbie.
Yes,
good to see you. Let's chat about Timber. I think this week we'll get a conclusion to this story, whether it's Arsenal have offered it and it's done, or whether, quite frankly, it's just too much for Arsenal to do.
Yeah, I think this is going to get done, this one.
I agree.
Jurrien Timber, even over the weekend, he posted this cryptic post where he had the word gunner, or the tune he was playing was gunner. It's quite obvious that he really, really wants to come. Now, obviously, we all remember the Mudryk thing with all these cryptic posters, etc. So you can't go strictly off of that. But we know that Arsenal put a bid in for 30 million initially, which was rejected. We know that other teams, and this is always a good sign, that no other teams really made a bid for him. And this is a top centre-back in European football. Mm-hmm. We know that you've teams like Bayern Munich are interested, but none of them have come forth with a bid, and that seems to suggest that the player has communicated through his agents that I'm only interested in signing for Arsenal. That's the only place I want to go to. Fabrizio Romano said that over the past few days that he loves the project that Mikel Arteta's got. He loves the fact that Arsenal is an exciting place to go to. And I think if Arsenal get this signing done, this is another big one. Because we all remember last season and the lack of squad depth. Him coming into that position all of a sudden really strengthens that back line. And as well, he can play that inverted role from right back. So this would represent a really, really good signing. So personal terms have been agreed, according to Fabrizio Romano, on a 5-year deal. And now it's just for the clubs to do the price. Arsenal have apparently... I think it's anything between 35 and 40 million that they're offering for him, which is higher than their initial 30 million. And let's hope this deal can get done.
Agreed. Let's break everything down then. So Mike Verweij, I hope I've pronounced that right, very reliable out in the Netherlands, apparently has said that there's been a verbal agreement on personal terms, and then Romano as well has spoken about personal terms. However, Sami Mokbel, in his update on transfers today to do with Arsenal, said that personal terms are nearly there and that the bid is coming soon. So he's saying it's slightly not as far as others are saying in terms of personal terms. Then obviously Romano's mentioned the second bid, but look, I think all these things, it's just, it's all moving all the time. You know, I don't think it's as clear cut. I don't think it's as black and white. I think ultimately Arsenal have put forward an offer to Ajax that they are very much considering. Simon Collins has come in as well and said that Ajax want 50 million, but the feeling is that closer to 40 million will get it done, as you mentioned before. Yeah,
and Samuel Mokbel also said that the base salary of close to £90,000 a week, that'll be what the wages he'll be on. And incentives will take that towards £120,000 a week. No wonder he wants to come. You know what I mean? So it would represent a very, very good signing, and it does look like it's getting close. And I spoke about this morning on my Transfer Daily show, the fact that Arsenal want to get their main signings in before that tour of the US, so that these players can get a full pre-season under their belt and hit the ground running for the new season. And I think especially a player like Jurrien Timber, we obviously knew the issues with Saliba, back issues, which can always reoccur. I think it's going to be a very important signing.
Yeah, and I think it's great that Arsenal are really steamrolling ahead with this, because we were hearing not 2 weeks ago that Declan Rice is a priority. They like Havertz. You know, that they're looking at Caicedo, but Rice remains a priority. Then they see what they can do after that. And it just makes you realise that these things are constantly moving and evolving, and Arsenal aren't stopping still for one deal or another. Havertz is done. We're going to talk about that in a sec, because we've got some updates on that front. I mean, I say updates. We all know it's basically done. But we will talk about it in a sec. But, you know, to power ahead with Timber as well, and maybe have Havertz and Timber kind of sorted as the Rice stuff is sort of hopefully getting to a conclusion by the end of this week. That's what we need to find out. But it's really great. I'm really excited about this deal. We talked about it as well on the last Timber update, that it's kind of gone a little bit under the radar because of everything that's happening with Rice and the stress of missing out on him to City. But he's a really top prospect. And I actually, in terms of ones who have done it in European football, that have been known about for a while, that are really good age, he's 22 years old. I don't think there are many players out there, really top players out there, that play that centre-back and right-back hybrid role that we're going to need them to do. So I'm super excited about this one.
No, very excited, and it would represent a really, really good signing. And the good thing, the thing I find funny about this one, right, is that so many different journalists are commenting on it now, but it came out of the blue.
Yep.
I think it was David Ornstein who broke it. Nobody was linking Timber, and Ornstein just came out, a £30 million bid's been put in. So that just goes to show there's a lot of work's going on behind the scenes that we don't see, and that the majority of these journalists don't see, right? The truth of the matter is that football clubs try and keep as many of these things secret as possible, because so many things can go wrong with a deal.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, as
very,
we as we see when the spotlight's on a deal like the Declan Rice one, it forces up the price, all kind of things. So.
Yeah, completely agree. Okay, let's touch on the Havertz stuff super quickly, because there's no point keeping you waiting or anything. Florian Plettenberg from Sky Germany said it's a done deal, done. It's
done.
Yeah, completed. Romano has also said that the first part of the medical is done. I think we know he was at Azpilicueta's wedding.
He was
this morning.
He was at Azpilicueta's wedding, and
they were having fun, those ex-Chelsea players, weren't they? Kovacic, Havertz, Jorginho, posting pictures, all that. I don't know.
All through the door. Even Azpilicueta's going through the door, and it's. I mean, none of them are going to be left, so they don't care. But that's done.
Yeah, all done. Okay, let's talk Rice then, because Sami Mokbel has said that there is a third bid coming in soon. We know John Cross was saying that over the weekend as well. Sami Mokbel has said that it is expected to be around the 100 million that West Ham want.
Yeah.
Romano's also come in, and you've got the tweet saying Arsenal and City want to bid this week.
Yeah.
And he said more to follow. Has there been an update on that since?
No update on that.
We'll keep you updated if there is. I think there's going to be, with a deal this big, it's such a big story. There's going to be a lot of little updates here, little builds, little, advanced talks here and considering bids here, and they've spoken to his camp there and blah, blah. Here's the reality. It's as simple as this. So many outlets have said that his preference is Arsenal. He would happily go to City, but his preference is Arsenal. I hope Sami Mokbel is right, that this third bid hits the near 100 million or 100 million that West Ham want.
It's going to have to.
And that they just get it done. Because I think if a third bid's rejected, I think it really starts to look like you're messing around now. The first and second, I've been very forgiving for Arsenal on that. But on the third, it's got to be, all right, here's 100 million, I don't know what, 80 up front or 80 in installments with 15 to 20 add-ons. I don't know. But they've got to get there, surely.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Arsenal's negotiating team, what I'd be doing is I'd be asking West Ham, what do you want? What is going to be enough to get this? And I know that's never a good position in negotiating, because they're going to tell you the highest possible thing. But you need to find out first of all what they want, and then you've got to be able to get as close to that as you possibly can. £100 million is a lot of money. Everybody, I was out yesterday and a guy was going, Robbie, just slap it down on the table. For starters, I don't know many clubs that just have £100 million floating around in their pocket to just slap on the table, right? It is going to be a deal that will be done in installments. This is how these type of deals are done. Even City will do it in the same way. But it's how close do they get. If the player wants to come, if the player's given assurances and said, Arsenal, I want to come to you, the next step is to do a deal with the club that's going to be acceptable to them, that they say, okay, cool, we'll accept that money. You can go and talk to Declan Rice and get the whole deal done. If they don't do that and they don't match that, then it's going to be a problem, because then Man City can come in, match or get closer to what West Ham want, and then maybe they may be given permission to speak to the player, and they may be able to sway it that way. So this is very important times for Arsenal as regards this deal, but everybody seems to be saying that Declan Rice wants to come to Arsenal? We're going to find out.
We've got to think that there are counter offers. Surely when these bids are going in and we're saying 90 million with 75 and 15 or whatever, surely they're coming back and going, no, we want this. Surely the reply to said email or bid or whatever isn't just, no.
Yeah, that's true. But then maybe on the other, it could be a thing that, they want more than 100 million. Remember, famously they said, David Moyes said, he's worth about 120. Yeah. So, they could be saying 120. And everyone's just going back and forth.
Yeah.
I do think we're getting close to the end of this. And, it's where it's, as I said, those two things. How close do we get to what they want? And then, how much does Declan Rice want to come to Arsenal? The reports are positive that he wants to come. And this is also going to come down to the groundwork that Arsenal would have been doing on this deal.
Yeah.
Have they managed to completely convince Declan Rice that this is the place to be? And we're going to find out.
We are. All right, let's talk about two other midfielders then. One of them is Romeo Lavia. We haven't spoken about him for a while on the channel. I say a while. It's probably only been a week. But because, maybe in Transfer Daily, but I think that the focus has been Havertz, Timber, Rice, which is quite a lot in itself. And also there's been question marks about what's really going on with Partey and Xhaka. Now, Fabrizio Romano tweeted that he understands that Liverpool asked about the conditions of the Lavia deal and that they're in the race. Arsenal have been working on this deal for 15 days, he says. No official bid from both clubs yet. Man United and Chelsea are monitoring the situation, but not in active talks at the moment. So, 15 days of talks with Lavia. That doesn't scream to me, we're waiting to see what happens with Partey. That screams to me, well, we want him. But Liverpool could be in the race. And it doesn't feel like he's a priority at the moment.
No, we've still got to do the Declan Rice deal.
Yeah.
They've got the Havertz deal going through, this Timber deal.
Yeah, I guess what we mean by priority is that they're like in a rush to do it.
Yeah,
I think they're quite happy to leave us another month.
They're talking, and they're negotiating, they're doing the groundwork, which is a very important part of doing deals, is doing the groundwork. Do you want to come? What would you accept? What would you, get those things sorted out. Then also starting to find out from Southampton, what sort of money would you want before you prepare your bid?
What would you go up to?
For Lavia? I think we've been quoted 40 million. 40 to 50 million.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. Yeah.
He's a young player, very young player. I'd probably 45, but there could be... Listen, Southampton they want a bidding war for this guy. Liverpool need a midfielder. Liverpool are struggling in midfield.
But do they need money in? Sorry to cut you there. Do they need money in because
Southampton?
Having been relegated. I know there's parachute payments, but
I think
maybe they want the funds. Because Ward-Prowse hasn't gone yet, so maybe they're on a little bit of pressure to get that deal done quickly.
Listen, once you drop down to the Championship, you need money. Even though you've got those parachute payments, you've still got players that are on massive wages.
Yeah, true.
Right, that they're not going to walk unless they can walk to somewhere where they're going to get the same, right? And then there's this thing with Lavia where he's apparently got this buyback clause with Man City that comes into effect next season, which then would make they'd be able to buy him back for a hell of a lot cheaper. So I think Southampton would like to cash in on this one, like get the money. And Lavia probably wants to go and play. He's one of the most talked about young midfielders in European football. He wants to go and play at the highest level. If he can go and play at Arsenal or Liverpool or Man United or Chelsea, all these teams that are looking at him,
agreed.
So it's about doing the groundwork on this one. Obviously, you can't do every single deal immediately at once. It's not surprising me that Liverpool are showing an interest because they're struggling in bringing in their midfielders. Some of their top targets, Uwin and Arin, so they're looking at alternatives.
Agreed. What about Caicedo? I thought we were done talking about this one on the channel, but Sam Dean now saying that if Partey leaves, Arsenal might turn to Caicedo. I actually think this makes complete sense. Look, I'm not saying that I think it's going to happen or anything like that. I think the Partey and Xhaka things, I think they're hanging in the balance more than people think. Especially the Xhaka one. I think there's this feeling that, well, he's gone. It's done to Leverkusen. I'm not sure it is done. I think with everything that's going on with the midfield change, I think Arteta just said, look, Granit, just give me a sec to figure out what's going on.
I think if Rice comes, I think Xhaka will go.
But if Partey goes, is there not a chance that maybe we still need an 8, so actually Xhaka stays and Rice plays 6? And I don't know.
I get the feeling that Rice is going to play in Xhaka's position.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Right. So I just it's the Partey one is my understanding is that Arsenal weren't looking to sell him.
No.
And he wants to go. Right now, if he does go, they've got a problem. They do need someone in there. Caicedo would be very expensive though. I'm not sure. Can they buy Caicedo and Rice and Lavia and Timber and Havertz all in the same window?
Well,
that's a big outlay. I mean, unless there's like quite a few players going out, that's going to bring that money back in.
Unless like Holding, Tierney, Nketiah.
Yeah, there'd have to be
Pepe.
There'd have to be a lot of players go out for Arsenal to do that. But listen, if they did do that, it'd be fantastic. But I see more Lavia and Rice.
But if we lose Partey and Xhaka, who's the starting?
Yeah, I know
six?
that is the problem. That is the issue.
I mean, look, we didn't sign him to start every week.
No,
Listen, I actually think he's done well for us, but that would be really underwhelming. But let's see. I have a feeling that the three that are coming in, Havertz, Timber, and Rice, are like this is the adding. Like adding them means we've got the squad Arteta needs. And then for every outgoing after that, there will be a incoming. So if Partey then goes, well, then they'll look for another deal.
Yeah.
If Xhaka goes, I think there's a chance that maybe they look. But I think with Xhaka, they probably not.
And to remember, this is the second week of the window.
Yeah.
I mean, not even 2 weeks have gone on the window, and the window shuts on the 1st of September. So there's still a long time for Arsenal to decide. You know, if they get the key targets in and somebody like Partey and they have to fill that, they've got time to work on another deal. If it was, say, a Caicedo, I mean, they'd have to move fast because we know that Chelsea are moving fast on that. We've heard that Man United might come back into that race as well because they you know, and the Mount thing's looking a bit dodgy at the moment as well. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Let's see what happens. For everything that's happened, we feel like we've had so many twists and turns. Like you said, it's only week 2, and there is so much.
Second week, I can't believe it.
Still happen. This goes through till the start of September.
Never seen it this busy at the start of a window for Arsenal. Never ever since I've been doing Transfer Daily. It's incredible. Arsenal very serious in this market, and if they could, I think Timber, Declan Rice, they pull off those 2 deals. Those are significant deals because those are 2 players that are wanted by many clubs. And big clubs as well. And if they were to pull off those 2, that'd be good. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what you think will happen. What will get announced this week? Probably Havertz. Will Timber? Will we have a fee agreed? And then obviously everything to happen there. And Rice, will we finally get a conclusion this week? If we do, we will let you know here on AFTV. Go hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed these updates. We've been actually checking the comments on some of the other updates. You seem to all be enjoying them, so I'm glad you all are. A big thank you for all your support you're showing to the channel. Go hit the subscribe button. And yeah, we'll see you all very soon with some more transfer updates. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.